there. Welcome to the Multifamily Real Estate Investing YouTube channel. We are really excited to have you here. I'm Jen Conkey.
I'm Stacy Conkey, and we are so thrilled because we are here to announce that we are relaunching this channel after 10 years, and we are going to bring you brand new content each and every week. And we are so excited to do this. I can't even wait.
I know, right? So the relaunch starts on September 19th at 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Eastern. We're excited. Are you excited?
I'm totally excited. You guys got to be excited. You don't even know what's coming yet.
Hey,
it's
okay.
amazing.
So who is this channel for, though?
Okay, so the Multifamily Real Estate YouTube channel is for 3 different types of people. So let me describe it real quick so you know when it's for you. Number 1, if you're brand new to real estate, but you know that you want to do this, but you just really don't know how, you are in the right place. We literally specialize in working with 3 different types of investors: brand new investors and investors who are looking to scale up from small multifamily into apartments. So if you've been doing real estate already, but you're like, man, I wish I could get into apartments, but that is a much bigger game. That's really scary. I don't know what to do. Don't worry, we got your back. We got you covered. We're gonna be covering a lot of content on that very topic. And 3, if you're already investing in real estate and you're doing it where you live, at home, local, that's amazing. That's awesome. Congratulations. We are here to open your eyes and your mind to an entirely different way of investing that allows you to invest anywhere in the US from wherever you are located, so that the entire US becomes like your investing playground.
Big old playground. We've been investing for nearly 2 decades, and we love bringing other people along, and we can't wait to help you too. So in this video today, we're gonna cover 3 tips on which level of multifamily investing is right for you to get started. What's the first tip?
All right, so first things first, we're gonna break things into 2 buckets. I want you to think a little bit about where do you fit in. So everything that we cover is about multifamily real estate. So in one side, we have small multifamily, and the other side we have apartments. So let's just talk about, like, what does that mean? How do we define it? So in the lending world, which of course lending is important to us all, right? It's where the money comes from. They break up real estate into 2 categories: residential and commercial. So anything that's considered residential is 1 to 4 units. So single family home, duplex, triplex, fourplex. That's all considered residential. For whatever magical reason, when you hit 5 units, that becomes commercial. So the real estate investing world has followed suit, and basically that's where we cut things off. So anything that's 4 units and under, so I'll say 2 to 4 units because still multifamily, we call that small multifamily. Anything that is 5 or more units is considered apartments. Now that is a very, very broad category, but there's certain things about it that are just always the same. So it doesn't matter whether it's a 5 unit or a 500 unit, the valuation of an apartment building is the same, which is very, very different than residential. And next week when we launch, and Jen will tell you about that at the end, like what our topic's gonna be, that's one of the subjects we're gonna cover in depth so that you really start to understand what is the difference and what drives it. But I'm telling you, there's a huge difference. So the very first tip is you need to decide, like, where are you beginning? If you're brand new and you're like, ooh, I'm a little timid, you know what? You're probably gonna fit great into the 2 to 4 family. Like, get your feet wet, buy a couple of duplexes, triplexes, kind of understand the business before you jump into apartments. Or maybe you're like, I don't need that at all. I have no fear, even if I have no experience. I'm going right to apartments. That's 100% fine too. Or maybe you're just looking to scale. You've done some duplexes and you're like, I really want to get a 10 unit, but I know it's different. I know it's very different and I need to be educated. Well, we're going to help you with that as well.
Right. Okay, so now that you know, the first tip is decide between 2 to 4 units or apartments. The next thing, tip number 2, you've got to decide whether or not you want to get into a stabilized property that's already performing for cash flow. So do you want cash flow right away? Or are you willing to do a little value add work? When you do value add work, you get equity, which is a major wealth multiplier. And then you also get cash flow over time, right? So a stabilized performing property is a really good strategy for people who have very minimal time and are willing to just, hey, let me just get into my first deal, we call it a momentum play, and get some momentum on that first deal so it's already cash flowing. And then I might be able to dip my toe into a value add. But people like Stacy and I, we're like, give me that value add all day long. We are willing to get in there and roll up our sleeves, do some rehab work, and build equity. It's forced appreciation, which we'll talk about in many of our videos in weeks to come, right? So the forced appreciation piece right there is a really good situation to build wealth for yourself. It takes a little bit longer, a little bit longer burn, and you got to put a little bit more work in. But if you're willing to do that, you will. It's the millionaire maker. Okay, it's the millionaire maker strategy. So to recap, tip number 2, it's either stabilized, getting straight into cash flow, or going into a value add where you can get equity and cash flow over time. Right?
Yeah.
Cool. What's tip number 3?
All right. So tip number 3 is you have to decide whether you are going to be investing where you live or whether you're going to be investing remotely. So if you've never heard of someone doing remote investing, it's not the most common topic that we hear out there. Most people are accustomed to only investing where they live. And frankly, usually it's because you just don't even know, you don't know that there's any options. So I want to educate you a little bit about like what's real about real estate for a lot of people, because we have students all over the US, actually some even like outside the US.
We have a student that closed on her properties from Israel.
From Israel, yeah. So anyways, sometimes so we just moved a couple of months ago. We live in Florida now, but up until now, we've been living in San Diego, California for a very long time. And as we all know, San Diego is super cheap, super affordable. Cash flows like a monster. Oh wait.
Said no one ever.
Yeah, said no one ever. All right, yeah, San Diego's really expensive. It's pricey. The rents are high, but they're not high enough to cash flow. So if Jen and I wanted to live in San Diego, which we did for a very long time, we weren't going to be able to buy multifamily real estate and cash flow there. So we had to learn the skill of investing remotely. And now we've been doing that for nearly 2 decades, and we specialize not only in doing it ourselves, but we have, trust me, we've made every imaginable mistake over the years and really developed super solid systems with checks and balances to make sure that we can not only do it, but do it safely, effectively, and make the most amount of money on our deals. So what you have to decide for yourself is, do you want to be the investor who just invests where you live, which that would be assuming you live somewhere that matches your strategy. So if we were going to do fix and flips, which we did that too, but if we wanted to focus on that, we could do it in San Diego. Frankly, even then, it takes a lot of capital.
It does.
Yeah,
you have to put a lot of capital in there for very little return. So.
Yeah, it's risky to us. So learning how to do it remotely allows you to live where you want, and actually even more than live where you want. It allows you to be wherever you want, whether you're living there or whether you're on vacation. It doesn't actually matter. Your physical body is in one place, but the properties are somewhere else. And it's literally learning the skill of leading and managing a team and doing it remotely, which is primarily a mindset shift. But you remember in October 2018, we had literally just closed on 3 properties in 1 week. 1 week before, we had a trip scheduled for the Bahamas. So we spent 10 days in the Bahamas, and we had just closed on 3 properties, and we spent about 10 or 15 minutes a day just checking in with our team, text messaging, making sure everyone had what they needed. But it didn't impact us. It didn't require us to physically be there. And Jen and I have so much passion and desire to teach you guys how to build true freedom, right? The 3 freedoms, so that you have the money that you need to do what you want. You have the time to do what you want, and you could be wherever you want. We call it financial, time, and location freedom. And we're just excited to share this stuff with you guys.
The 3 F words that we can actually say.
Freedom, freedom, freedom.
Freedom, freedom, freedom. Yeah. Financial freedom. Okay. So, and you know what? We've got plenty of students that have taken our model and they are implementing it, and they've been implementing it for a few years. And we have one student who closed a deal from a tree.
Steve.
Yeah. He was on a hunting trip and he closed from a tree. So, if he can close from a tree, you can too, if you wanted to. I don't really want to climb a tree. I'm not 10 anymore. But anyways, we really can't wait. Every week we're going to drop a new video, and we're going to focus that first one on September 19th. It's going to come out, and it's about apartment investing for beginners. You don't want to miss it. We're literally going to give you a lot of steps. I think there's 5 steps, 5 teaching points that we're going to cover for you. 5. If you bring a notepad and a paper.
For sure.
That's the same thing. Bring a notepad and a pen, right?
That makes more sense.
Yeah, you don't want to bring a notepad and paper.
But what if it's empty?
Okay, just make sure you have a pen and a paper, okay? So on the 19th at 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Eastern, our new content video is going to drop for the first time. We're super stoked. It's apartment investing for beginners. We really want to make sure that you get that. So if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to the channel and ring the bell so that you get the alert saying, oh, they're there again, and there's the video that I need to watch, because it's going to change my life, right?
Yeah, it totally is.
We're super stoked.
Yeah.
All right, so we're going to see you guys next Sunday. Don't forget, subscribe, ring the bell, and come learn all the things that you need to know. We will help you make sense out of the chaos.
Yeah. All right, have a great night, guys.
Bye, guys.